get that mirror, but because, you know, he was a little worried about the other matchups and how they'd pan out. But I do say that, you know, if Hunter has that secret into Spellstone start with the Wandering Monster, the Snake Trap, or just, you know, Dire Maul and a Crackling Razor Maul into something, it can have very powerful turns that not a lot of decks can deal with.
Yeah, Boar's last 2 decks, he's got Odd Rogue and he has Zulok. Can be close. Looks like he's going to be going with that Rogue first. And Rogue absolutely can get on the board faster, but this Hunter deck with Dire Maul, with Crackling Razor Maw, can fight in the early couple of turns, which is, you know, Odd Rogue is a little bit not used to having Hunter do that nowadays, because most Hunters are playing Devil's Soar Egg and Spider Bomb and not doing anything for the first 2 turns of the game, and that's really when Rogue thrives. Here we see, however, Zixo with a full keep on this hand. This is
it's a very
beautiful.
Solid hand. I will say that the Secret Keeper was a consideration for not keeping, because board control is on the play, which means that he's going to play a 1-drop and then he's going to dagger. And Zixo's going to play the Secret Keeper into the 1-drop if he chooses to do so, which means it just dies to the dagger. So I wouldn't be surprised if he just holds it here in order to go next turn, Secret Keeper coin Snake Trap, in order to set up a better play, force 2 minions to go in, and then have all those 1/1s. I would not be surprised to see that being played here. And you see that's exactly what he's going for, understanding that if he played it on 1, it would just die to the dagger, and that's basically the card's useless at that point.
And Zixo does find another secret, so this is going to be a fully powered up Spellstone on turn 5. Rogue not famous for dealing AoE damage.
It's actually interesting for board control right now. He has 2 potential 3-drops he could go for. Either want to get the Henge Clan Thug down as quickly as possible, or if he has some kind of read that, you know, it is Snake Trap or something like that, could just go for the Blood Knight here. And the Blood Knight is much more powerful onto the board.
So the Blood Knight and then the attack from the Argent Squire. Board control knows it's not Wandering Monster, knows it's not Explosive Trap. And I kind of like this race mentality from board control. Even if the Secret Keeper gets nice and big, it's not going to beat Blood Knight and a Henge Clan Thug next turn. We could even see a Cold Blood from board control if the Argent Squire were to live to try and clear up the Secret Keeper. Now with this Freezing Trap on board, however, things get difficult.
Yeah, it does get a little difficult. Going back to the previous turn, you might be questioning, why did board control not just clear off the Secret Keeper? It looked like a prime trade. Well, board control knows that Venom Strike Trap is in the deck. And so if he swings that Secret Keeper and it's a Venom Strike Trap, making that Blood Knight play becomes useless at that point. And you see here, he is still respecting it, saying, you know what?
Nice.
I'm not going to give you this free kill. I am going to keep going face. I'm going to end this game as quickly as possible. If I have to, I will Myra's on 5 just to draw my entire deck, just to put the race on, and I don't blame him.
This is consistent. This is consistent with what he did last turn, and I absolutely agree. He's not going to win this game by playing board control, because he knows that Spellstone can come down on 5, and he will not have enough of a board to deal with it.
They don't call him board control for nothing. He's not board control.
He controls that face.
He's board control. You know, the best kind of board control is putting your opponent to 0, because then they don't have a board.
Because they're dead.
Exactly. Is your mind blown right now?
That is some...
That's some deep knowledge.
You know what? Can you cross-stitch that onto a pillow for me?
I'm working on it. I have to get the rights to board control first.
Uh-huh.
You see here, Zixo's just got pretty awkward turn. He's going to have to go for this, maybe get a Leok or a Huffer. I think he's happy with either of those. The only unfortunate thing for board control at this moment is I like the aggressive plays coming out from him, but he doesn't quite have a way to deal with this Freezing Trap.
No, he's going to try and stick this Blink Fox and then freeze it back for the next turn. Dagger can clear up the Leok here. Oh, no, still does not want to activate that Venom Strike Trap. And you know what? It makes sense. Then you wouldn't have anything to proc the freezing.
Exactly.
You lose the Blood Knight no matter what.
Board control's playing this really well.
It's just always so counterintuitive to not attack your opponent. To have powerful minions on board that can execute your game plan and to just not go for it. Like, for all that board control knows, he could be playing around nothing, or he could be playing around everything. But it's easier to just not find out. until the moment, at least, that you're able to deal with it.
As you can see here, he's just respecting it so much. I mean, just making sure that, you know, he doesn't really proc those secrets in a bad way. And he's still pushing this damaged face. He picked up Leroy, which means it's going to make it that much quicker.
Leroy dagger is 8
more turns away.
Burst. There's a kill command from Zixo, as well as 2 crackling Razor Maws. I mean, this could be a lot of damage himself. He does need to deal with this board immediately. And from then on, he could actually end the game pretty quickly.
Now Zixo, you saw Zixo earlier even respecting board control secrets. I think that's kind of funny that, you know, he ended up stealing one of the secrets and had to respect it himself.
He's been playing around secrets,
yeah,
you know, 4 games now.
And we still see that last Venom Strike trap has still not been triggered.
Okay.
Or was it a snake trap? I'm starting to lose it at this point.
Zixo's playing 2 snakes? No, it's not a snake trap. One was procced earlier.
It's actually funny because Katharina will pull out Blink Fox from the
Yeah, it will.
And actually, if Zixo doesn't find some kind of taunt here, he's actually dead next turn.
There's taunt.
He has to take it because he would die to the combo of Leroy. And there's +3 health. He finds the 2 ones he needs.
Bor's gonna have to trade Leroy into that that Bear Shark now. Unless he finds Vile Spine Slayer.
That's not a Vile Spine. I mean, does he just go for Katharina to try and fight for board? It's actually great. It's actually technically good that he drew the Dire Mole, because then that's less likely to pull out a bad beast. Because there's actually a couple beasts.
Oh yeah, double Dire Mole, double Blink Fox.
Yeah, unfortunately he does get the Dire Mole.
Yeah, it's a 50-50 there. Nice job, Katharina. It's better than nothing. Maybe it draws 3 damage away from face.
I'm so used to that, seeing that pull out a Witchwood Grizzly. I was wondering why there's no Witchwood Grizzly on the board.
Excuse me, Judge, where's my King Crush?
Where's my King Crush?
I thought that's all that Katharina did.
How much damage is from Zixo? It is 17 right now, so just a little bit off default. Has to make some trades.
Baku's a beast!
Oh, and
Oh
Zixo,
my
I don't
God!
think he realized that.
Dude, that's so bad! Completely forgot that Baku the Moon Eater is a beast.
Too.
You never see it from
That's gonna be the
Deathstalker
game.
Rexar because only goes up to 5 mana, but that is going to be the game. Board control is going to win, and you know what? This is entirely something that Zixo could have avoided if he had just remembered that Baku the Moon Eater is not entirely useless when you have Katharina Winter Wisp on the board off of a Blink Fox. Odd Rogue is ridiculous, and board control is going to take a 3-1 victory.
That was insane. I completely forgot it was a beast too. But I mean, honestly, could Zixo even play around that though? I mean, if he didn't get rid of Katharina,
Then
that would have been able to
exactly
would have been able to clear up the minion.
Yeah. There might have just not been anything for him to do there. I think that was just more surprise than anything else. Obviously, Zixo doesn't know that Leroy Deckhand is in hand and that he's dead no matter what. If there's only one piece, or if there's, you know, God forbid for board control, nothing in hand, then Zixo is absolutely correct there to kill off the Katharina.
I mean, I think
if there's no
either way.
big bad beast in the deck.
Because I think he has to either way, because if he does not kill off the Katharina, what happens is the Katharina value trades in, and then he knows board control has been setting up this very aggressive play from the start of the game, and then board control just ends the game on the next turn. So he has to set that play up. But Baku, I think this is the first time I've seen Baku end up, you know, winning the game for an Odd Rogue. A lot of times you have that in your hand, it's called big patches.
Yeah.
For a reason.
You don't want to draw it.
You don't want to draw it,
good.
but, you know, it came out of the deck and it looked really good. That was
great.
great.
A very good card. And, you know, we may not have seen Hunter win all of the games in that series, but Hunter cards were involved in all of the wins. So a really nice 3-1 victory for board control. Very aggressive, showing a lot of prowess with that Hunter deck that he himself contributed to the build of quite a bit. And for Zixo, he's going to go to a 1-1 match record. We're only playing 4 rounds today because of time constraints, but tomorrow we will be playing the final 5 rounds of Swiss. So generally in a DreamHack tournament, there are 160-ish players here this weekend. It would require a 7-2 record to be very comfortable for that top 16 cut. So Zixo by all means, not out of it just yet. Just going to need to maybe pick it up a little bit. But against an opponent as talented as Boar Control, I think that one isn't one that you really can get